Welcome to the wonderful family favorites. Allie's here today with me, and we are going to make champagne rolls. We've already opened the bottle of champagne, and we have a little for us too. Here, Allie, a little champagne.
Thank you.
Quite welcome. Cheers.
Cheers.
Salud. It's a great recipe. It's easy, really tasty. The champagne gives it a great taste. The first thing you're going to need is our yeast is proofing. I took a tablespoon of yeast, a little bit of sugar, and a half a cup of warm water. And you let that probably sit for 5 or 10 minutes just to get all nice and bubbly. You're going to need sugar, warm water, about a cup of warm water, of course your champagne, which should be fairly at room temperature, and a little bit of olive oil.
And
Ooh!
Mrs. Wonderful's Provence blend.
So I'm going to put Allie to work with the Provence blend because the Mrs. Wonderful salts are all coarse gray sea salt. And so you need to crush it if you're going to bake with it. So Allie's going to crush it in my mortar and pestle here. And I have a tablespoon right here.
Okay.
So you need a tablespoon of salt for this. And so move this over. Hold on a minute. There we go. Get that out of the way. Allie, crush that.
Okay.
Our yeast is proofing. Now you can do this with a bowl and with just a whisk, but I have my KitchenAid here with my paddle attachment. And so what you want to start with is a cup of warm water. So you put a cup of warm water in your bowl. Next, you need your champagne. You need about 3/4 a cup of champagne. Or sparkling wine. Sparkling wine and champagne, most of you probably know, are basically the same thing, except the champagne comes from the Champagne region in France. That's why they call it champagne. But there's a champagne method that is used, so most sparkling wine is made with this champagne method. And so I kind of interchangeably call it champagne, sparkling wine. It's all wonderful. Good to have sparkling wine around. And this is a great way for you to use leftover champagne. If you've had a party and you've got, 3/4 of a cup left over, you can make these fabulous champagne rolls. So that's about 3/4 a cup of champagne. I'm going to put that in with the water. I'm going to take a tablespoon of sugar. I'm going to put that in there. There you go. Allie, are we ready with the salt?
Ready.
Allie's going to put the salt in there. And the herbs, the Provence herbs in that are going to just be so good. Doesn't that smell good?
Yep, smells good.
So we're going to start mixing it around just to kind of mix the water, champagne, the salt, the sugar. Oh, and a tablespoon of oil.
I have 6 cups of flour in here that we're going to need. And we're going to start with just 2, right?
Right, we're going to put 2 in there. So let's let that just mix for about just a few seconds. Now let's add 2 cups of flour. Does that cup work out fine? It's a little wet. Dry it off. And what you're going to do is you're going to let that beat for 2 minutes. You don't have to be exact here, just about 2 cups of flour.
That's 1.
Ooh. 2. Perfect. Look how that is. It's kind of wet. And now I'm going to put in my yeast. My yeast and water mixture. There we go.
Good.
Yeah, now I'll use that. Thank you. Scrape it all in there. Okay, that can go in the sink. Thank you.
And how long is that going to mix for?
2 minutes.
Okay.
So you're just going to let that blend and you can smell. That champagne makes it so good. It's going to make these rolls delicious. So in the meantime, Allie and I have a sip of our champagne.
Yep.
Wherever mine is. Oh, here it is. Cheers.
So even though these sound kind of like sweet rolls, they're not.
No.
They're dinner rolls.
These are a hard dinner roll. Really delicious. We were going to make some turkey soup tonight, so they're going to be great with turkey soup, great with any meal that you make. And they're easy. They're fast and easy and great. So, and this is making like a creamy, kind of, moist beginning for our thing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to slowly add about a half a cup of flour at a time and let it incorporate into the beginning of our batter here. And Mrs. Wonderful salt's going to make it great. In the meantime, don't say in the meantime. All right, now let's get a half a cup. All right, Allie. And my half cup went.
Right here.
There it is. Okay, you can put in half a cup at a time.
Okay.
And give it one last little beat. Okay. Go ahead.
Ready?
Mm-hmm. And that's just going to incorporate. Okay, keep going. So.
Whoa. Slow it down.
So this will slowly incorporate it, and once you can keep putting it in there. Once it gets to a point where the dough is kind of pulling from the sides of the bowl, then you kind of know you can either switch to a wooden spoon or you'll be able to tell. So you might use all of the 6 cups of flour, or you might not. You might only use 5. That looks good. It's getting there. Put another one in there.
Oh, oops. Still going?
Still going.
So it looks like it's kind of all flopping
See how it's pulled away?
Mm-hmm.
Pulled away from the thing. Now we're going to switch to a wooden spoon. We'll turn this off. Okay. Pull it up. See that dough? And we've added a little more flour. What we're going to do here is use our wooden spoon. Get that flour going. Gets to be a little messy, but it'll be perfect. And then we're going to turn it out onto a board and knead it for just a couple minutes. I think that looks pretty good. What do you think, Allie?
Yeah.
If you not kind of use your hand and just incorporate that flour. Sorry. All right, there we go. We're turning it out on the board.
So no need to flour the board since we have
So much
a
flour
lot of flour on there.
going there. And then really just 3 minutes of kneading. And you can add flour in as you need it. If you think it doesn't have enough flour, you can just add it on in there. But I think it's looking like pretty moist and flourful. Now what I'm going to have Allie do is I'm going to have her oil my bowl.
Okay.
A little bit of olive oil in there to make the bowl so we can put our dough in there and let it sit for an hour. All right.
Okay. Maybe a little more?
That's whatever, yep. Just coat that so it doesn't all stick to the... And you'll feel the dough get kind of smooth and resilient. The champagne makes these things smell so good.
Well, and the Mrs. Wonderful sauce.
And the Mrs. Wonderful salt, with all those good herbs. The Provence blend has marjoram, savory, and rosemary. It's so, smells like French. And champagne, of course, is a French drink, so...
French rolls is what we're making.
Yeah, we'll call them French rolls. Good idea. Provence rolls.
Okay. Does this look good to you?
Looks great.
Okay.
So now we're going to need a piece of plastic
I'll
to
do
put
that.
over it. All right. See, as you knead it, it just becomes more wonderful and smooth and ready. So like I said, if you don't feel like you can tell by the consistency of your dough, just time yourself. Just knead it for 3 minutes. Okay.
Okay, plastic wrap.
Great. So, here's my nice ball of dough.
Should we be preheating the oven as we do this?
We could, but this has to sit for an hour.
Oh, okay.
So, you're going to roll it around in your bowl, with oil on the top, on the sides. There we go, cover it up.
Cover it up.
And that's it. And now, it's going to take about an hour. It's going to double in bulk, or even triple in bulk. We'll put it over somewhere on the table. Looks good, Allie.
Okay.
And now, we're going to start our turkey soup. I'm going to put Allie to the work of